Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Tooth Teacher Tuesday. I am your host, Dr. Steven Zom, and for today's episode, I'd like to kind of switch gears from our usual topics. You know, as a dentist, I, of course, get a lot of questions about the clinical side of dentistry, but also get a lot of questions about dental insurance, as it is becoming increasingly more complicated and difficult to understand both as a patient and for us as the dentists to understand as well. So what I'd like to do is kind of from here forward kind of alternate each week. So this week we'll talk a little bit about dental insurance, and then next week we'll talk something clinical, and then back to dental insurance, and kind of alternate between the two areas of dentistry. So for today's episode, I want to just kind of talk about the basics of dental insurance, because there's a lot of misconceptions out there surrounding it. I would say the biggest thing to understand with dental insurance is that it does not function quite the same as medical insurance does. Typically with your medical insurance, you're going to hear the term in-network. You have to see a physician who is in-network with your insurance. What that essentially means is that the physician has signed, or maybe more specifically the hospital, has signed some sort of contract with your specific insurance company that says that they will see patients who have that type of insurance. And so you can go see patients that are in network. Otherwise, if you go to anyone outside of your network, then you're going to be paying your medical bills completely out of pocket. Dental insurance is a little bit different. And with dental insurance, there's really three different general categories of dental insurance. The first category is going to be your government-based dental insurances. Primarily Medicaid would be what I'm referring to. Of course, with Medicaid, that's going to be something that you would have to meet certain requirements based on your income and other factors such as that. Government-based dental insurance, here in Indiana, there's Indiana Medicaid, there's HIP, or the HIP is the Healthy Indiana Plan. These government-sponsored dental insurances are usually pretty basic, pretty backbone, don't have a whole lot of benefits associated with them. And you'll notice that most dentists do not accept Medicaid dental insurance. Reason for that being, and maybe this will be an episode down the road that can kind of go into it further, but because it's government based, there isn't a whole lot of funding to it, which means the dentist isn't really going to get reimbursed very much for it. A lot of times dentists end up losing money when they see Medicaid patients. But like I said, that may be a topic for further discussion in another episode. With government-based dental insurance, there's also Medicare is slowly starting to have dental benefits. You'll see a lot of advertisements for it. A lot of it is exaggerated, we'll say. Most of the time it's not included with your basic Medicare. You usually have to purchase some sort of supplemental coverage for that to actually have any dental benefits. So that's our first category of dental insurance. The second category would be an HMO plan. HMO stands for Health Maintenance Organization. That is going to be something that you would have as a benefit through your employer. That would be a plan that they would have purchased, and then that you can choose to utilize. With an HMO plan, this does function pretty similar to medical insurance in the sense that you have to see a dentist who is within network, who is contracted with that specific insurance company. Um, so if you see a dentist who doesn't accept that insurance, you're going to be paying out of pocket entirely. Um, and I would say that it's very rare for dental insurance to be an HMO plan. And a lot of times these insurance companies are pretty sneaky about what type of plan it is. So best way to figure that out would either be to contact your human resources at your employer or reach out to your insurance company directly to clarify whether or not you have an HMO plan. That way you know whether or not you have to see a specific dentists that are in network. So that's second type, the HMO plan, and then third and finally is going to be the most common type of dental insurance, which is a PPO plan, which stands for a Preferred Provider Organization. PPO is a little bit different, and we'll get into much more detail in future episodes, but essentially with a PPO plan, your dentist is going to either be contracted with them or not, and essentially what that means is that if your dentist is contracted with them, they are in network, and that means that they take a certain percentage, kind of a hit, we'll say. They have to pay to be within network with a PPO plan. If your dentist is not contracted with that particular insurance, they're considered out of network. The nice thing about a PPO plan is that you do have out of network insurance benefits. So you can see any dentist you want and you will still have benefits. It just may not be as much benefit as if you were to go to someone in network versus out of network. Like I said, that's a very complicated subject, and we'll get into a lot more detail down the road, but that's the basic outline of dental insurance. Stay tuned for more information on that. But in the meantime, I want to thank you for listening into today's episode, and we will resume our regularly scheduled programming next Tuesday with some various clinical topics. So until then, I want to thank you for your time and have a great Tuesday.